We're back with more news. Sitting down, deal with it. Past couple weeks, we got some things that happened. No dev dub, but maybe some dev Ls. Who knows? Find out. Go over here. Starting off with the larger stories, that we're gonna start with Toei. I can't pronounce things. Japan entertainment giant Toei is forming its own gaming division. This is Andy Robinson, VGC. Founded in 1949, Toei is involved in film, television, and animation. It's best recognized for its franchises such as Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Power Rangers. Whoa! Toei Games will create original IP titles, first for PC via Steam and later for home consoles, the company said in an announcement. Its initial lineup of games will not be based on Toei's existing IP, but completely new titles created by designers in Japan and abroad, it said. So none of their hot commodity IPs are actually going to be turned into games. Interesting decision. All new IPs. One major driver is the belief that the IPs that Toei, Sanrio, and Shueisha are sitting on are more popular abroad than ever, and that these IPs can be further monetized via gaming. But it's saying that they're not going to do those. Who knows? I mean, but this is kind of exciting. They might have some cool shit coming out. That's pretty cool. Next up, Chris Culling VGC. It's a Mind's Eye update. I can get my mouse to work correctly. There we go. Mind's Eye Studio staff takes legal action, saying management installed invasive surveillance software. Huh? As reported by game developer, the staff, led by members of the IWGB Game Workers Union, claimed that management installed surveillance software called Terramind into their hardware and weren't transparent about what data it was storing. The union says that Terramind software was removed from employees' devices in March following a collective grievance against the company, which was signed by 40 employees. Management refuses to disclose what data was collected from the employees and how the data was stored, as well as the reason for its installation in the first place. Terramind's official website says AI-powered software enables proactive protection against insider threats, data breaches, productivity inefficiencies, and compliance challenges. This is basically saying we have AI-powered software that's going to surveil your workers. That's literally just what it says in corporate jargon. Builder Rocketboy CEO Mark Gerhardt has previously claimed that organized espionage and corporate sabotage are among the main reasons for the poor launch suffered by Mind's Eye, which was the lowest rated game on Metacritic last year with a score of 39 on PC and 28 on PS5. The statement from the workers' union said it alleges that Barb's, which is Builder Rocketboy, use of software violates both data protection laws and the workforce's basic dignity, exceeding the legitimate merit, I don't know, of monitoring workers' productivity or safeguarding the company's security by recording individuals in their homes without their consent. Whoa. Program tracked users' keystrokes, records screen activity, and captures microphone audio. That's wild. They have very strong evidence. Ooh, we'll see what happens. Juicy. We'll skip that. We'll go to players are suing Nintendo. Players are suing Nintendo. This is Chris Culling, VGC. Nintendo sued by players who say they should get any tariff refunds received by the US government. This rules. In April 2025, after delaying Switch 2 pre-orders because of US economic uncertainty, Nintendo announced that Switch 2 accessories would see a price increase in the US due to changes in market conditions. Hardware itself didn't get a price increase. In August, Nintendo increased the price of the original Switch hardware, and the price changes were widely attributed to the president's decision to impose sweeping tariffs. After the US Supreme Court found that Trump didn't have the power to invoke the tariffs last month, Nintendo, as well as more than 1,000 other companies, sued the US government for refunds what it considered legal implementation of the tariffs. As a result, two players, Gregory Hofert from California and Prashant Sharon from Washington, I have no idea, are suing Nintendo, claiming any money recouped from the tariff refunds should go to customers. I mean, that's true. They make a good point. They're arguing that because the tariffs led to an increase in the price of Nintendo hardware and accessories, if Nintendo gets refunds on these tariffs, it will essentially have made extra money from consumers. That's absolutely 100% true. Unless restrained by the court, Nintendo stands to recover the same tariff payment twice. Once from the consumers through higher prices, and again from the federal government through tariff refunds, including the interest paid by the government on those funds. Wild. So yeah, hopefully, maybe we got a Nintendo L here that'll help us. That'll be some fun times. Next up, the developer of Greedfall shuts down. Andy Robinson, VGC. Nakon's collapse claims first closure as RPG studio confirms it no longer exists. The French developer is the first official casualty of the parent company Nacon's insolvency filing earlier this year, which left it battling creditors after its majority shareholder, Big Ben Interactive, failed to make a partial repayment on a bond loan. What's the studio called again? It's just Spiders. The studio is called Spiders. In a message posted on social media, Spiders said that after a long period without clear answers, the company as a whole no longer exists. The final DLC for Greedfall, The Dying World, will be released via Nacon, it claimed. Cut straight to the chase, so you're not left wondering. After a long period without clear answers, we have received confirmation that Spiders is being liquidated. Oof. So that's unfortunate. We got another closure. The volatile market conditions, am I right? Let's do the PlayStation update first because it's less things to click. So PlayStation update. This is gonna be an ongoing story. So there's been several updates to this since then, which we will go over. So this is Chris Scully in VGC when the news/leak broke that PlayStation has seemingly added a 30-day DRM check to all newly purchased digital PS4 and PS5 games. As originally reported by YouTube channel Modded Warfare, the new version 13.2 update for the PS5 console appears to have also brought with it a form of digital rights management DRM, in which digitally purchased games have to be verified going forward. Also tested by Twitch streamers and modders, any game purchased on or after a certain date appears to have a 30-day timer applied to it. If the player doesn't play the game for 30 days, they will have to connect their console online to renew the license and reset the timer to 30 days again. Contrary to some belief on social media, this doesn't mean that if the 30-day limit expires, players will lose access to the game forever. It means that after the timer runs out, players won't be able to play the game until it connects to the console again, so it can perform a validation check. Anyway, moving on from this, because this was all speculation at first, and then there was a theory as to why this was happening. Chris Cully VGC, which, and you guys will see by the end of this why the internet needs to chill the fuck out sometimes and just like take a breath and just figure shit out, because everyone was going nuts over this shit when it first came out and no one knew for sure what was going on. We do now for the most part, but everyone was flipping their shit, and it's way less like sinister than everyone thinks it is. So this was the theory of the purpose of this, and it seems pretty legitimate. There has been no reason to believe that this isn't the reason at this point. New theory says PS4 and PS5 30-day digital game timers are temporary to stop piracy, become permanent after 14 days. Sony did release an official statement on it. Reset Era user Andrew, who owns a jailbroken PS4 and has been using it to try to figure out what's happening, appears to have found a potential explanation, claiming that the timer is a one-time measure to avoid piracy and that digital game purchases lose their timers, become permanent after a couple weeks. So he goes into like the details of it, but basically what happens is on a jailbroken PlayStation console, when you purchase a game digitally, it downloads the lifetime license of that game onto the hardware for good. It just stays there no matter what. So on the jailbroken one, you get to keep that downloaded license, and then a lot of people would do that and then return the game within the return period, which is like 2 weeks or something like that. So they would get, because they still have the downloaded license file, the lifetime license file still on the console, even though they refunded the game, they can continue playing the game. So they're getting the game for free every time, basically. So what they're saying, what this tested was that they downloaded a game. It had basically a 30-day trial license, and then after the return date, connecting it to the internet double checks that license, and if you haven't refunded it, if you still have it, it converts that license into the lifetime license after that, right? So that basically it's after the return period, so they can't return it after that anyway. Because so if they did purchase the game, it only gives them the limited license, so that even if they do the return and still try to play the game after it connects to the internet after a month, they're not gonna be able to have access to it anymore, because that license did not convert to a lifetime license. And then there was an official statement from PlayStation. This is Chris calling VGC. PlayStation finally explained 30-day timer for digital games, says it's only a one-time check. So contrary to what almost everyone was screaming at the beginning of this, that it was going to be every 30 days you need to check in, it's just one time for it to convert the license from a temporary license to the full lifetime license. Sony has officially confirmed that players don't have to verify the games every 30 days and that the initial timer is indeed a one-off check. Players can continue to access and play their purchased games as usual. A spokesperson for PlayStation told GameFile, a one-time online check is required after purchase to confirm the game's license, after which no further check-ins are needed. While the spokesperson didn't go into detail on exactly why the online check had been added, the most popular current theory is that it prevents pirates from making use of an exploit in the PlayStation's refund system. So again, internet sometimes needs to chill the fuck out, because this, after reading all this and seeing all this at face value, this seems fine. This makes a lot of sense. Because if there's a lot of people with these jailbroken consoles stealing money, you need a way to stop them from doing that, right? And if the way is to just do a one-time check, basically just refreshing the license to make sure that they can't get the free version anymore, that's fine. That makes sense. This literally is not going to affect the vast majority of people in general. Even though the vast majority of people, or a lot of people, were upset about it, this is not going to affect them at all. At all. They won't even notice it. So there you have it, gamers. PlayStation explained. Now let's do some Xbox updates. Oh yeah, the official announcement that Xbox is cutting Game Pass prices and removing launch day Call of Duty games, Chris Scullion, VGC. Starting today, which was the 21st of April, Game Pass Ultimate will cost $23 per month, down from $30. PC Game Pass will be $14, down from basically $17. And Call of Duty games will no longer be made available on Game Pass Ultimate or PC on day one, and will instead be added during the holiday season about a year later. This marks a surprising policy change from Microsoft, which paid $68.7 billion for Call of Duty parent company Activision Blizzard in 2023 and fought a years-long legal battle against regulations focused on the future availability of the franchise. The price cut is shortly after Microsoft's newly appointed head of gaming Asha Sharma told employees that Game Pass had become too expensive, which is true. But again, and this is all like overview of like all the deals and stuff. Still $23, it's still pretty steep a month. The Game Pass premium tier is still $15 a month. I think the biggest difference is you don't get every single game day one, but you still get the library of games on PC and console, which is fine for me. So I downgraded to the premium one. Next Xbox update. Chris Scullion, VGC again. Analyst says Xbox Game Pass price drop is unsurprising after Call of Duty failed to significantly increase subscriptions. Speaking to GameIndustry.biz, Circana Senior Director Matt Piscatella and Amper Analysis Head of Games Research Pierce Harding Rolls both agreed this was inevitable, given that Xbox's hope it would see a large growth in Game Pass Ultimate subscribers by adding Call of Duty availability on day one hasn't played out that way. It was clear from very early on in the Call of Duty on Game Pass experiment that it did not lead to a significant increase in Xbox console sales or even subscriptions. So this change is not surprising at all, a little overdue perhaps, but not surprising. The commercial reasoning for pursuing a subscription-first strategy for new releases the size of Call of Duty has not been realized. While the pair disagreed on whether the addition of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and 7 on Game Pass on day one had a negative effect on revenue, they both agreed that the price drop will likely lead to an increase in Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass subscriber numbers. I agree. And then subscription stuff. The $30 monthly price was making the value part of that consumer calculation questionable. Yeah, 100%. Because it becomes basically the subscription is basically worth what, like six games? About 6 games a year? And who's buying 6 games a year? Right? Not me, that's for sure. Not at like full $60 to $70 prices, no. Next one. Xbox confirms it's reevaluating exclusivity as it shares future mission statement. Andy Robinson, VGC. In a message sent to Xbox employees worldwide and published on the company's website, Sharma and Chief Content Officer Matt Booty outlined the future objectives for the Xbox brand and confirmed that as part of its change, Microsoft Gaming Division will be rebranded back to just Xbox. Let's go. Wait, where's my... Yeah. Anyway, the pair said the new North Star for Xbox will be daily active players and indicated it will execute its new plan through 4 priorities: hardware, content, experience, and services. Along the way, we will reevaluate our approach to exclusivity, windowing, and AI growth, and share more as we learn and decide. The letter makes no firm commitments. It indicates that Sharma is listening to Xbox players who feel the platform has lost value due to Microsoft's decision to bring its first-party games to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2. Signs the strategy has been successful for Xbox. It's possible it can consider adding value to its console by implementing timely exclusive, as it's done with the upcoming Forza Horizon 6. Yeah, like timed exclusivity is probably a much better middle ground there. All right, let's move on from here because it's just more of like overview of everything. And your Robertson VGC Xbox boss says she wants to make the right decision on future game exclusivity. Interview with GameFile, Microsoft's new gaming CEO and chief content officer, were asked to elaborate on some of the broad commitments made in this week's letter, notably the exclusivity reevaluation. These are long-term decisions, like long-swinging decisions that have decade-long impact. It takes a while to create great games, so the team has been through a lot of cycles. I don't think it's helpful to unpack those. I wasn't here. We'll take a data-driven approach and a strategic-driven approach, and then we'll look at our principles and we'll make some calls. So we'll share more when we're ready. We know it's an important discussion to have, so they don't have anything to say about it just yet. So we're still waiting to see. They're making some tweaks. We're waiting to see some big swings. Basically, we're waiting to see some big swings. But that'll do it for the larger news. Now we go into the smaller news stuff. There's an interview with Shuhei Yoshida, formerly PlayStation, saying he was canned because he didn't listen to Jim Ryan. He quit last year after 31 years in the company. It stated that it wasn't his decision to step down. As reported by This Week in Video Games, Yoshida listed some of his achievements as Worldwide Studios president, then claimed he was fired for not agreeing to do certain things, which he didn't specify for Ryan. Tsushima was the last game he worked on, but in 2019, after 11 years leading the first-party development, I was fired from the role. Jim Ryan wanted to remove me from the first party because I didn't listen to him. He has to do some ridiculous things, and I said no. So, there you have it there. Last year, a month after he left Sony, Yoshida stated that it wasn't his choice to step down in 2019. It was instead forced to take the new indies role because the alternative would have been leaving PlayStation altogether. Moving from first party to indies, well, I had no choice. When Jim asked me to do the indie job, the choice was to do that or leave the company. But I felt very strongly about the state of PlayStation and indies. Really wanted to do this. I believed I could do something unique for that purpose. We tried to resist the direction. That's one reason they removed me from the first party. So he's still talking stuff and throwing shade, and he probably will continue to do so. Next up, some new hardware for retro games, and by retro I mean like old disc games. Polymega Remix, a legal way to emulate your retro games on PC, shipping next month. Chris Cullen, VGC. So it's basically, it looks like an Xbox, but apparently you could play multiple like branded games. Originally released in May 2021 and lets players rip their own physical cartridges and CDs into its hard drive. It's a $450 console, has numerous add-on element modules, each of which adds a new cartridge slot and controller support for different retro consoles. NES, SNES, Mega Drive, Genesis, Turbo Graphics, I don't know what that is, PC Engine, N64, Atari 2600, Atari 7800. Company has continually suffered from stock issues, while some players have found $450 price too high for what is essentially an emulation device. That's true. $450 is a lot. Remix, though, which is priced at $199, features the same support for CD titles and element modules, but instead connects to other devices, starting with Windows PC and handheld devices, and uses their processing power to run its emulators through the free Polymega app. So this is what it is. In this way, players can still use Polymega's emulators and its other features, such as virtual display modes, patch support, custom playlists, extended set game installations, and support for a series of Polymega collection physical games on their own devices. So cool. Hell yeah. I wonder if, I've never seen this before, so I wonder if it's actually popular. Next up, Microsoft released their Forza controller and headset and accessories and stuff, and the controller looks sick. I kind of really want this controller. The headset's okay, but that controller looks awesome. Is there a picture of just the controller? No. I wonder if I could just look at this without any audio. I just want to see the controller, please. I love how this never works properly when I want it to. This controller looks so good. It's transparent. It's got grippies. It's got cool design. I don't care about the headset. The headset looks cool, but I don't care about that. But that controller, look at that controller. It looks so nice. I think I might get it. I think I might get it. Comes out May 19th. Cool stuff. Next up, some rumors about the Mass Effect live action TV show. Chris Scully and VGC. Mass Effect TV show writer denies reports that it's been rewritten to accommodate non-players. Claimed earlier this month that the show, which is currently in development on Amazon Prime Video, would have to be rewritten to some extent to make sure non-players would be able to engage with it. The claim that Assassin's Creed is being rewritten is now been challenged by Daniel Casey, the show's writer and producer. So I can't talk about the specifics of what I'm writing. I've signed NDAs, but for whatever it's worth, that article by Angler caught me off guard just as much as you. I don't know where that non-gaming audience quote came from or who said it, but at this point, but at no point has that been said to me. Interesting. I wonder if he didn't confirm that somebody else said, confirm or deny somebody else said it. Anyway, moral of the story is make the game or make the show / movie like the game and it'll be fine. Look at the Fallout show. It's basically the game and it's great. As an example, Last of Us, basically the game and it's great. I don't know what these guys are thinking. Next up, Atari acquires an emulation studio. Retro emulation studio Implicit Conversions, which specializes in PS1 ports. As reported by GamesBeast, Atari has announced that the Delaware-based studio is the latest of its retro-based acquisitions, responsible for the Syrup engine, an advanced emulation engine which brings 8-bit, 16-bit, and 32-bit games to modern systems. Implicit Conversions has already worked alongside Atari subsidiary Digital Eclipse on Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Rayman 30th Anniversary. So this is cool. Maybe we'll get more stuff coming out because of this acquisition, or we get more layoffs, or both. Probably both. We'll see what happens. Next up, Intel has confirmed or is warning that CPU prices are also about to go up because of AI. Gross. The entire tech industry is bracing for what some publications are dubbing Ramageddon, as memory is becoming increasingly scarce and exponentially more expensive due to AI data centers buying large quantities of stock. And then it goes down to, according to Intel, AI servers have generally needed one CPU for every 4 to 8 GPUs. Damn, 8 GPUs used in an AI server, but with agentic AI, this is beginning to shift to one CPU per GPU, meaning more CPUs. Oh, cool. Cool. They went from one CPU per 8 GPUs to 1-to-1. As you think about growth rate now going forward, CPU demand is going to become more a significant part of the AI total addressable market. Yay. RAM prices are already out of control. Storage prices are out of control. GPUs are hovering, but only because they've been out of control since Bitcoin and shit, since crypto. Ugh. All right, and last of the news stories, or last of the small news stories, Star Wars Racer Collector's Edition will be released, and it looks pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to get it for $160, but it looks cool. Galactic Racer pre-orders now. You could get colorways. So in the Collector's Edition coming October 6th, it's a steep price. You get the custom slipcover and deluxe edition steel case, a land speeder model, the box with the sleeve, pilot patches, an art book, a Keystar banner, and the Naboo skins for the stuff. Repulsor Craft Deluxe Library. So they call it Deluxe Craft, but it's the Naboo fighter skins. It does look cool. It does look cool, and it's hard to say how big it is too, because I doubt this model is the size is actually comparable to those patches. But this could be really cool. I would like to see an unboxing of it probably first. But we're definitely going to get the game. Collector's Edition, I don't know about. But the game, yes. I'm very excited for this game. Oh yeah, 100%. It's actually not through, it's actually through like directly. It's not even like a limited run thing. Like the company. It's a direct Collector's Edition. All right, now for some chat picks. Don Walker was talking about AI. This is Robert Perchese, Eurogamer. Companies should use AI, says the Blood of Dawn Walker director, but there's an important caveat and declaration that nothing in this dark fantasy vampire RPG was created using it. So they first go off. The one dude is all like, he's all like, where does he say? He said it somewhere. Oh, here. My approach to AI is like this. I think that companies should use AI, but in a way which helps people to work, not to replace the people. For example, we have our own QA team, and they sometimes have the task they need to do. For example, go through the terrain and check if there are any holes in the terrain. In the same time, they could play the quest and tell me if they like the characters or if the gameplay loop is fun enough, or if sometimes the combat can be better or whatever. My approach is I feel that we should use AI to help our people to work and take from these tasks which are annoying and frustrating, and allow them to do this more fun work, which is needed actually. And this is what I think about. It should make our life easier, but it shouldn't replace people at all. It's like you could take a stone to put the nail into the board, or you can use the hammer. It should work like this. Interesting perspective. And then the other dude by the end of this had to clarify for sure. The other dude said, I will say one thing, because the subject of AI was raised, and whenever AI is raised, there's controversy. I want to make one thing absolutely clear. Nothing that's in the blood of Dawn Walker was created using generative AI. Nothing. People with their blood and flesh made this game from beginning to end. I just wanted to make that 1000% clear. Okay, so no, don't worry. They said that there's no AI, generative AI in the game, so game still able to be purchased. They're just saying like, hey, have AI be make our lives easier, which is fine. That's a valid use. I agree. Next up, we only have like 2 more. Gustav plays E33 for the first time. This is Jody McGregor, PC gamer. Charlie Cox admitted he hasn't played it for a while. In a more recent interview, he said, not the whole thing. I haven't completed it. I've played the opening bit for a while and kind of walked around and met the people and garnered the information and all that kind of stuff. Not very well. He hasn't. I don't think he's played. I think he's watched the first cutscene. Maybe. I don't think he's played the game. Cox highlighted how different Claire Obscure felt when he compared to the video games he grew up with, like GoldenEye, Mario Kart, and FIFA 98. I played all those games. They weren't like stories that were so carefully carved out and created over the course of a game with the level of detail in a way, and the way in which information is received. It's not just all spelled out. You discover these things as you go on through the game. So cool. Will he ever finish it, or has he actually played it? Who knows? Probably not. He's a little busy. And last bit of news, chat pick. Why are the lobsters different colors? Tell me. This is Corey Plant Polygon. Bungie refusal to explain Marathon's lobsters is deeply suspicious. So people found out that if you have different classes, you see the lobsters at different colors. As an example, this person posted, the lobster was blue for me as the assassin, but for one of my teammates Triage it was red, and for my other teammate Destroyer it was green. But they won't say why. They don't say why the same lobster is different colors for different classes. Why is it different colors? Bungie, tell us why, so that AK can sleep at night. So that's just a funny little thing if you're playing Marathon, which I just reading the story, I remembered that thanks to AK I have the game, so I do need to get into it, which we will soon for sure. But for now, that's it for gaming news for this week. I felt like we did a lot. I feel it's slightly shorter than usual, but we did a lot. But that's gonna be it. Like I said, thanks to everyone that hung out live for news. Check out the links in the chat. YouTube, Twitter, Discord, TikToks. We'll get to that stuff soon for sure. I don't remember if this is right or not. I think I fixed it, but I don't remember. But yeah, tune in next week for more news. It should be on the regular Friday next week, thankfully. And I think if we're lucky, it's going to be like that moving forward. If we get lucky, but that's gonna be for me. Thank you again.